Do you like to burn stuff? Welcome to the Fire Mage PvP guide. My name is Cypress. Let's get right into it. Today we're gonna look over the basic talents for Fire Mage. To get you started, let's look at tier 1. First talent, Pyromaniac. And basically, when you cast Pyroblast or Flame Strike, when you have Hot Streak, which you should be doing anyway, you just get another one. Double Pyro, pretty good. Now I suggest using this talent for arena or single target, maybe duos and stuff like that, because you're gonna get way more value versus single opponents, because the next talent over, Conflagration, is gonna give you a little bit more damage when it comes to multiple opponents. And what this talent does is Fireball applies Conflagration. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but bear with me, I do have an accent. I'm trying my best. To the target, dealing fire damage over 8 seconds. Enemies affected by either Conflagration or Ignite have a 10% chance to flare up, dealing additional fire damage to nearby enemies. So this is pretty cool. Basically, it helps you spread and do a lot of damage with your Ignites, which is your mastery. So basically, Pyroblast, Scourge, Fireball, Flame Strike gives, puts a dot damage over time on the target, which every 2 seconds your Ignites may spread to another nearby target. So the tier 1 second talent improves on this and gives you a lot more like spread pressure kind of thing with added damage to it. It's pretty cool. And also what you can do with honor talents, we're gonna go into the next video. You can spec into a Tinder, which gives your Fireball, if you haven't casted Fireball for 8 seconds, basically your next Fireball will do a 30% increased damage and reduces its cast time. Why is that good? Because you don't have to cast the long ass fireballs anymore, which is a 2-second cast. It just puts it in half, makes it almost, well, not instant, but pretty fast. So you can spread faster to multiple opponents, and in turn that's gonna spread even to more opponents, spreads your Ignites everywhere. You're gonna beat Boomkins with this. You're gonna beat almost everybody just by having a good spread of Ignites and Conflagration, which does another dot of fire damage to the target. It's pretty good. I've been topping damage in any kind of AoE situations in BGs just by doing a pretty good spread pressure, spreading my Ignites over multiple targets. Fire starter, your Fireball spells also deals a critical strike when the target is above 80% health. Now this is not too bad if you're running some kind of like burst comp, but even with burst comp, the target is gonna go. The target's health is gonna go down pretty fast. So how is this gonna be useful if you open with a Fireball? I don't know if this is the correct choice for almost anything, basically. I don't know how good this is. You can find a way to use it, but then again, if you have to really find a way to use a certain thing, a certain talent, why would you use it in the first place? Anyway, let's get not too complicated with this. So Pyromaniac, first talent, single target, good, like double Pyroblast, double Flame Strikes. It could be used as AoE, but I don't think 8% is that good of a proc, so it just gives you a little bit more boost when it comes to a single target. That's what I think it is. That's how I play it personally. And then configuration just gives you this spread pressure applied to everybody, just dotting everything, burning everything like Fire Mage should be. I think that's the way to go for multiple opponents in BGs especially, and then arena duos, Pyromaniac, because the spread pressure is not really that useful in arena because there's only 3 people, and sometimes you don't want to spread too much to break your own crowd control abilities, CCs. Anyway, let's go to tier 2 of the talents. Shimmer gives you double blink. You can cast while blinking, so you can cast an ability while blinking. You have 2 charges of it, and it's unaffected by the global cooldown, which is awesome. You can cast a spell, a blink at the same time. You can sheep while blinking. It's pretty cool. And with certain honor talents, it becomes even better, because with Prismatic Cloak gives you 100% dodge. So no spells, only for spells though. No spells is gonna hit you for 1.5 seconds, which is awesome because you have 2 blinks. So basically 3 seconds of immunity to spells. So if somebody is bursting, you can CC him, and if he has still a little bit left of that time, you can just blink once, wait 2 seconds, blink again, ignore all the damage done to you. Or if you, like if somebody is shipping you, you can blink, and then while they're casting the sheep, and you can just dodge the sheep that way. It's pretty useful in my opinion, but blink no longer breaks stuns, so make sure you know that. So you have to be trinketing your stuns instead of blinking it, because usually you can blink out of a stun, but now it's not gonna break it. So you have to be careful with that. So if you're going versus like a warrior melee heavy, like a Windwalker monk that has multiple stuns, you're gonna have some hard time with this Shimmer ability, but it's useful. I just put it up there for like general purpose kind of talent, because it's pretty useful if you know what you're doing. Even in BGs, I usually use it because mobility, sustain. You know, you get healing from your artifact weapon, which I'm gonna show you in a later video, from blinking. So it all combines. But in arena, sometimes in a specific situation with that warrior, a lot of stun classes, you want to use actually Cold Snap to stop the damage. Plus you're gonna have that stun break on your blink and a trinket as well. So let's go to the next one. It could be useful. You can find a use for cauterize or something. Bear with me, like I said, accent and everything. Just heals you up. It doesn't let you die, but you take damage afterwards. Not that useful. You're better off taking either Cold Snap or Shimmer, and let's go to Cold Snap right away because I don't want to spend too much time on Cauterize, whatever. Ice Block has 2 charges and it heals you for 3% of your maximum health every 1 second. Not bad. Like I said, if you're running versus like a burst comp in arena, you can use double block, block and then block after like the debuff is gone, or if they even have the debuff anymore. I'm not very sure about that, but since I've been running Shimmer all the time almost, but basically you're gonna have a pretty safe time versus a burst comp with double block and blink actually breaking those stuns for you. So let's go to tier 3. Mirror images. I've never used mirror images. I don't know how good they are, but the other 2 are way better than this one. I mean, I don't know how much damage they do, but 2-minute cooldown on something that talent, I don't know. I wouldn't take it. Rune of Power. This is not bad. Remember that PV and PvP are on separate like, how did they put it on imagine having like two Excel spreadsheets, and one is for PvE and one is for PvP. The spreadsheet for PvP, this talent is the damage is reduced to 35%, so it only gives you 35% boost to your damage if you're standing still in one place. Currently I'm running a lot of BGs, not that much arena, but a lot of BGs. I'm never standing still. I'm running, doing objectives, kiting, melee, because they have a lot of Demon Hunters running everywhere right now. So a lot of kiting going on. I never use Rune of Power. It could be good with a certain talent like Flame Cannon, which is your honor talent. Just standing still gives you a pretty big boost to damage. You could be using it that way if they leave you alone, but as soon as people, you know, figure out what to do with fire mages, that they shouldn't leave them inside the Rune of Power. They're gonna attack you right away, burst you down if you're standing still. So, plus, also back in the day, mages are usually the target in arena because they're squishy. Now with having only one block and just shimmering around, or even having two blocks, it doesn't save you that much. So I don't usually stand in arena that much. I'm chasing a target, I'm getting chased most of the time. So it's useful in some situations. You can make it useful with certain comps that actually can CC the enemies for you, so you can have those a few seconds or 10 seconds, whatever you wanna have it, just standing in one place blasting people, and you can do a huge damage. But like I said, it's dependable on your teammates, the enemy team comp, and just situations where you can actually sit in one place. Encounters Flow. Now this one is simply a passive that stacks up to 5. It just gives you 20% increased damage every stack, up to 20, and then diminishes as well, goes to 1, decreasing that percentage, so that 20% every stack by 4%. So it's not bad. You can line it up with some spells. You know, when you're at 4, you can cast it, and then 5, you're already doing the big damage. You can do it like that. Plus, you don't have to be standing still, which is a plus. So it's my go-to talent basically on everything I do. Let's go to the next tier. So tier 4, talent 1, Blast Wave, used to be pretty good because you have 2 charges of this, and it did insane amount of damage. Like if this crits, almost half the health of some, you know, your target was gone. But now you have only 1 charge, and the next talent, Flame On or Controlled Burn, kind of beat Blast Wave, because Blast Wave has 25-second cooldown, doesn't really play into your crit kind of thing. It might crit, but it's not guaranteed. It does reduce the movement speed, but you already have Ice Ward, which gives you 2 Frost Novas, so why, like, you don't really need the slow. I guess you can use it in some situations, but I don't know, just doesn't seem that good. Flame On, however, it's my go-to talent, because, for example, let's say you're combusting, you already have a hot streak, and then you just want to proc your Pyroblast of that. So you Fire Blast once, Pyroblast, Fire Blast 1, Pyroblast, Fire Blast, Pyroblast, and that's over, right? Flame On, continue doing the same thing, continue bursting. If you don't have Flame On, you have your artifact weapon, Phoenix Flames, same thing as Fire Blast, just gives you crits. and it hits like a pyroblast as well, which is pretty cool. So you have a lot of damage going into this. Plus Flame On allows you to control your crits, which is pretty useful. Controlled Burn, basically what heating up is just having one crit. That's heating up. Second crit gives you Hada Streak, and then you Pyroblast. So heating up, when you gain a heating up, you have a 10% chance to instantly activate Hot Streak. That's all good and stuff, but you cannot control when you get this 10% chance. So I believe Flame On is a little bit better talent, but Controlled Burn could be something useful for PvE and stuff like that. Let's go, because we are running a little bit late. It's already a 16-minute video, but I did want to go over talents in detail, because I believe the Fire Mage is interesting and a little bit complex, not too much, but yeah. Icy Foes makes your next it has 3 charges, so basically your next 3 spells could be cast while moving and not on the go cooldown. It's nice and all, but as a Fire Mage, everything is instant. You don't have to cast a lot. And with the honor talents, I'm going to show you a talent for Fireball. I think I already showed it to you. Tinder, which makes your Fireball even faster, which we're going to get into next year actually. Unstable Magic, I'm going to show you. Ring of Frost all day. Back in the day, Ring of Frost just CCs a group of enemies, put them in a Ring of Frost. Easy. Ice Ward, however, your Frost Nova has 2 charges. Perfect. You can kite forever with this one if you're good. Pretty good. Let's skip to the next tier because it's pretty general. Like everybody knows Ring of Frost, everybody knows Frost Nova. It's pretty given. Living Bone, back in the day, same thing. Applies a dot, and then it explodes, hitting all enemies within range. All good and everything, but you can spec Living Bomb, and it's gonna do pretty good. However, the way I'm spec'd Unstable Magic, Fireball has 25% chance to explode on impact, getting increased additional damage, 50% additional damage to the target and our enemies within 8 yards. Now, like I said, this 50% plus Tinder, which is 30, 80% additional damage on a fast Fireball. So basically you make your Fireball hit a little bit harder than a Pyroblast every 8 seconds, and that spreads. And now that we have Conflagration, that AoE from a stable magic plus Conflagration, which spreads from your Fireball, it spreads to all nearby enemies, and it does a shit ton of AoE. And I don't know, I think that's, if you're spec'ing to Tinder, that is pretty useful talent to get, because it does make your Fireball hit very hard. And with Tinder, every 8 seconds you have a fast Fireball. So for example, Pyro from the crits, you're out of crits, you're out of Fire Blast, you're out of the Phoenix Flame, your Flame On is on cooldown. Fast Fireball, by that time, if they survive, it's gonna be a miracle. Flame Patch, meh. I don't use Flame Strike that often. I don't even, like, I think I have it on my bars. Yeah, I do. I don't use Flame Strike that often. I haven't tested it too much, but I still think that Pyroblast is the way to go. Like, you have single target, good single target, and then you have, with Conflagration, you have insane spread, ignite, and everything. Makes it awesome. Why would I spec into Flame Patch? Maybe for PvE. But for example, even in BG, sometimes you're not in a mix of everything. You're not fighting multiple people at the same time. Even then, you might be taking a tower, taking a flag. You're going to be fighting one-on-one. You don't want to be boosting your flame patches, flame strike, flame patch thing when you're fighting one-on-one. You want to just have a versatile spec, but at the same time, single target should be your main priority. I put Kindling as my... I was testing this, and currently in the pre-patch, Meteor is the way to go, because Kindling is good because you have a lot, like I said, a lot of crits. Fireball can crit, Pyroblast can crit, Fire Blast definitely crits, and you have 5 or 6 of those. Reduces the combustion timer. So if combustion is a cooldown, every Fire Blast, it's guaranteed crit. You reduce it by 1 second. Fireball reduces by 1 second. Pyroblast 1 second as well. Reduces your cooldown. It's good with Firestarter. Firestarter gives you a Fireball reduce cooldown of your combustion by 10 seconds. And why did I spec to Tinder? Because every 8 seconds I get a fast Fireball that does a lot of damage and reduces my combustion time by 10 seconds. And it has insane spread pressure. Pretty good spec in BGs, I can tell you that. Plus, if you're moving fast, if you're running with somebody, the fast Fireball reducing your main offensive ability is awesome. I love it. I like this spec. The alternative is going to be Flame Cannon. But yeah, Cinderstorm, anything that has a cast time on my Mage and a cooldown, I'm not a fan of. Cinderstorm, I don't know. I've seen somebody do some damage with it, but I haven't tested it that much. I really don't like it that much. Like 2 second cast time on something that is fire based. So basically, if they silence you, you're locked out of fire spells, and that's all you have, fire spells. So I'm not confident that this is gonna be the go-to. But it could, they could buff it, and it could turn out to be pretty good. Then I'm gonna spec. This is not big. Kindling is not that big of a buff, but combined with Firestarter and Thunder, it's pretty good. Cinderstorm, not too bad. If you want to be casting PvE something, use it. Meteor is my current go-to in the pre-patch because, like I said, we don't have honor talents in the pre-patch, so I don't have Firestarter, I don't have Tinder. I cannot really use Kindling at all because I have 2 Fire Blasts. That's it. So this is not useful currently, but it becomes useful later on when you get your artifact weapon, when you get the honor talents. Kindling is going to be the way to go, in my opinion. Meteor is my current go-to for the pre-patch. Just Meteor, AoE, or just Meteor on top of me if a melee is chasing me. Put that dot on it, plus a little bit of damage. It's not too bad, but it's not big damage, or the dot is also not great for the animation, which is pretty good. Let me show you the animation. Cool animation, but not a lot of damage. You would expect this to have huge damage. Nope, nah. Very scratch you even. So yeah, that's how it is currently. The video is 25 minutes long. I just wanted to show you everything, guys, because like I said, Fire Mage is not too complicated, but it's interesting in the little thing it has, and it makes it pretty fun to play. Next we're gonna go to honor talents, artifact weapon, and rotation and tips. And if you want to see my previous videos, go to my channel, check them out. They are all about Survival Hunter. and I have also Fire Mage abilities and spell like overview kind of thing, just to get you started if you don't understand something or don't know what they do. I go over them pretty quick. And that's about it for this video, guys. If you want, put a comment below, ask me any questions. I would love to answer about the Fire Mage, one of my favorite specs. I've played it for a long time. I'm not really a huge fan of Frost or anything like that. Fire Mage is my like favorite mage spec forever. And check out my other videos, like or subscribe if you want to, and see you in the next video. Thank you.